Hi, folks. Penny here with Stay Body Positive, and today we're talking about Mercury in retrograde. So, have you been feeling maybe overwhelmed, brain fog, confusion, emotional anxiety, kind of trying to figure out why just generally out of sorts? Could it be Mercury in retrograde? Now, I don't claim to be an astrologist, if that's a word, astronomer, or an expert in astrology. But I do find it very interesting, and I am an enthusiast. And it does seem that every time Mercury's in retrograde, even if I don't know it's in retrograde because I'm not paying attention, that things seem to be a little chaotic. So I wanted to make a video on this today and get your opinion on this. So please feel free to comment down below, like, and share because I'd love to hear from you guys on this one. So I'm doing a live streaming here and I'm just gonna go jump right into this. So, question for you: have you noticed that you've been feeling out of sorts a little bit? Had some brain fog? Love to just hear that in the comments below and find out. So let's talk about what is Mercury in retrograde. So Mercury in retrograde, again, not an expert here. Mercury in retrograde simply means, or when a planet is in retrograde, it simply means that from a specific vantage point, that the planet appears to be moving backwards in comparison to the rest of the planets. So when Mercury is in retrograde, it looks or appears from a specific vantage point or that it is moving backwards. Therefore, hence the term in retrograde. So, this actually does occur 3 times a year. And if you're curious as to what those dates are for 2019, you can check out my blog. And I will also link those up in the details below here. But the dates for this particular cycle are through March 28th. So we will be in Mercury in retrograde until March 28th. So if you're noticing some of those characteristics, could possibly be why. Let's talk about some other things about what Mercury actually ruled because I had to look into this myself as well. Now, some of you out there might say, I don't buy into the hype. And that's a load of crap. Well, let's think about this and put it into perspective because you guys know that I love perspective. And so, perspective being, does the earth actually, or does the moon actually have an effect on the earth? Well, science tells us that it does, that it affects the tides. So, isn't it quite possible that maybe that other planets also have an effect on our emotions and how we feel and maybe how we interact with others? Who's to say 100% for sure, but I think it's certainly worth considering the possibilities. So, that being said, let's talk about some tips to get through this Mercury in retrograde as it continues until March 28th. And starting with one of those tips to be, first of all, let's understand what Mercury governs because Mercury actually is supposedly in control of travel, communications, and therefore it can leave us feeling a bit flustered whenever we make travel plans and they don't fall through. Mercury also rules contracts. So, might not be a good time to sign contracts during this period as well. So, travel, of course, we're not going to put our lives on hold. That would just be crazy. But double check, triple check those travel plans and travel dates. Certainly never hurts to do that anyway. Also, keep in mind vehicles might be affected as well too. So make sure your car is ready with proper maintenance. And don't make rash decisions during Mercury in retrograde. Emotions will be running high. And tempers could be flaring as well too during Mercury in retrograde. So try to be the level-headed one since you know this, and be the one that remains calm. You'll thank yourself later. This is a great time to slow down and take introspective and potentially learn something new like meditation. Mercury in retrograde is an excellent time for us to be able to take the time to do that instead of trying to continue to push forward with things that seem to be overwhelming us. Planning is key during Mercury in retrograde, so make sure you plan ahead. Communication is key, so make sure that you're communicating with your loved ones and your coworkers. Double check, triple check those emails, meeting times, etc. Again, Mercury is a great time to take some downtime and introspective and try that meditation. So if you're feeling not quite all together, a little frazzled, and frankly just kind of out of sorts, do you think it's coincidence or could it be something more? Could it be Mercury in retrograde? Love to hear from you. Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. I'm Penny. Stay body positive and reap the rewards.